Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. This is not a random coincidence. You did not find this message by accident today. This is an urgent divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this specific transmission to your screen. He did this because the window for your spiritual vindication is closing fast. If you swipe away now, you will miss the exact key you need. You have felt a heavy shift in the atmosphere lately. Your intuition has been screaming at you that something is wrong. People around you are acting strange. They are looking at you differently. And you can feel a thick layer of resentment coming from people you thought were your friends. You are not crazy for noticing this. Your spirit is simply detecting a massive upgrade. Welcome to your era of quiet authority. Funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the same way, didn't they? They said you were too kind. They said you were too forgiving. They thought you would always stay quiet just to keep the peace. And because of that gentle nature, they severely underestimated your true spiritual power. They thought their betrayal would finally break you. They pushed you into deep isolation and expected you to crumble under the weight of loneliness. But they made a fatal miscalculation. They did not realize that your solitude was actually a divine training ground. You did not break under their extreme pressure. You evolved into a dangerous weapon of pure light. And now those same people are watching you rise with absolute terror in their eyes. People are mad and jealous right now, and it is all about you. They are angry because they can no longer control you. They used to feed off your pure energy whenever they wanted. You gave them your light freely because you have the beautiful heart of a true empath. But you are no longer the empath who begs to be understood. You have become the empath with strict boundaries. You cut off their access to your spiritual reserves. And now they are starving for the validation you used to give them. They whisper about you behind closed doors. They try to convince others that you are the absolute problem in every situation. But heaven is preparing a table for you right in the presence of your enemies. They are watching everything they built slowly crumble. While they panic, your timeline is being flooded with divine favor. Do not let their toxic behavior make you doubt yourself. You have spent too many lonely nights crying completely alone in the dark. You wondered what you did wrong to deserve such harsh treatment from people you loved. Listen to me very carefully right now. You did absolutely nothing wrong. The rejection you faced was not a punishment for your mistakes. It was a rigorous protection protocol initiated by the universe. God had to ruthlessly remove those counterfeit connections from your energy field. Your energy now demands respect without a single word spoken. When you walk into a room, the entire vibration shifts. Those who are operating on a low frequency feel instantly uncomfortable around you. They cannot explain why they feel intimidated by your physical presence. It is because your aura is radiating a blinding light that exposes their hidden shadows. They hate you for exposing the darkness they absolutely refuse to heal. But you must not dim your light just to make them feel comfortable. You are stepping into the timeline you were born to rule. You are the master of your reality. Every tear you shed has watered the seeds of your upcoming harvest, and the universe is about to reward your unwavering obedience. But before we go any further, I want to hold something in front of you, something that was discovered not inside a church or a spiritual community. It was discovered inside a high-level research laboratory. It won the highest scientific recognition available in the entire world, and most chosen ones have never been told about it. It explains something I know you have felt deep in your bones. You know there is a massive gap between the person you truly are and the reality you are living. You see flashes of your genius, but they fade away too quickly. I will show you exactly what the scientists found, but not quite yet. First, I need you to fully understand what was stolen from you. So hold this question in your mind right now. What if the gap between your potential and your reality is not a character flaw? What if it has a specific name, There is a hidden message inside your current struggle. It is something you will completely miss if you swipe away too soon. If you leave now, the immense blessing will still arrive, but you will not have the spiritual equipment to actually hold on to it. You will sabotage the miracle because you do not know the mechanism behind it. The enemy wants you to close this video and go back to sleep. They want you to stay ignorant of the scientific secret that can unlock your total freedom. Do not give them the satisfaction of your failure. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this message fade into the background noise. Stay completely locked on my voice, because the truth about your painful tests is about to be fully revealed. And you will finally understand why you had to walk through the fire to reach your ultimate destination. Take a slow, deep breath right now. Feel the heavy tension sitting directly in your shoulders. I know you are feeling incredibly exhausted today. You wake up every single morning, and the heavy weight of the world is already there. You push through the pain because everyone expects you to be the strong one, but inside your spirit is crying out for genuine rest. You have given so much of your beautiful soul to people who never appreciated it. You listened to their problems, and you carried their heavy burdens. And when you finally needed someone to hold your hand, the room was completely empty. That deep betrayal left a very sharp sting in your chest. You started wondering if you were somehow fundamentally broken. Stop blaming yourself for their severe lack of loyalty. The betrayal was incredibly painful, but it was absolutely necessary for your ultimate growth. God had to reveal their true intentions before you moved into your new blessed timeline. Those people were assigned to drain your pure energy. They wanted to keep you stuck in a low vibration of fear and endless anxiety. Your current isolation is not a cruel punishment from the universe. It is a divine quarantine designed specifically to protect your sensitive aura. You needed to be separated from the noisy crowd so you could finally hear your own voice. The profound loneliness you feel right now is actually a sacred space. Heaven is doing deep spiritual surgery on your wounded heart. You are a cycle breaker for your entire family bloodline. You are carrying the intense weight of breaking generational curses that existed long before you were born. That is why you feel so incredibly different from everyone else around you. You look at the ordinary world, and you know you do not belong there. You crave a much deeper meaning that they cannot understand. But lately, you feel like there is a thick glass wall between you and your divine blessings. You try to manifest your desires, but nothing seems to actually work anymore. You watch other people succeed effortlessly while you struggle just to survive. And you know deep down you carry a much higher potential than you are currently expressing. You feel totally blocked. Here is the exact truth that they never wanted you to know. The reason the universe responds to certain people and not others is not about faith. It is not about discipline or how many hours you spend praying. It is actually a very specific brainwave. Scientists have a formal name for it. They call it the gamma frequency, and it was highly active when you were a child. Back then, your natural ideas flowed easily, and your pure intuition was completely unmatched. You somehow knew things before they ever happened in physical reality. The world felt entirely enchanted and fully on your side. Then adulthood arrived, and the modern world went to work on your mind. The endless stress and the glowing screens began to hijack your attention. The rigid school system trained you to obey instead of showing you how to naturally create. The daily survival routine pushed you into a constant state of panic. Every single year, this sacred gamma frequency was suppressed a little bit further. It was pushed deeper and deeper below the surface of your conscious mind. And your beautiful childhood genius slowly faded. Your sharp intuition became completely dull over time. The amazing synchronicities simply stopped happening in your daily life. The comforting sense that the universe is working with you went entirely silent. Most ordinary people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this tragedy happened to them. But you are absolutely not an ordinary person. Remember the important question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago? I asked, what if the huge gap between your potential and reality has a specific scientific name? The tragic loss of your gamma brainwave is exactly what that gap is. But the incredible answer to fixing it is closer than you think. I will tell you exactly how to reverse this later in this message. Now, I want you to completely release the guilt you have been carrying for years. You did not lose your spiritual connection because you were a bad person. Your frequency was hijacked by a system designed to keep chosen ones asleep. They need you to stay tired so you cannot threaten their control. But your spirit is finally starting to wake up from this long, heavy slumber. Pay very close attention to how your physical body feels right now. That small tightness in your chest is slowly beginning to loosen up. You are finally receiving the deep validation your soul has been craving for decades. You are not crazy, and your sharp instincts were perfectly accurate the entire time. The people who called you delusional were simply projecting their own fears. They saw the pure divine light inside you, and it terrified them to their core. They tried to extinguish your flame by making you doubt your own sanity. But the absolute truth is finally coming to the surface today. You have survived the absolute worst storms completely alone, and now you are standing on the edge of a massive spiritual breakthrough that will shock everyone. Listen closely to this next part. I need to explain the real reason behind your recent insomnia. You have been waking up at exactly 3 in the morning with your mind completely racing. You thought it was just heavy anxiety or ordinary stress, but that sudden jolt awake is actually a spiritual alarm clock. Your physical body is detecting a massive shift in the unseen realm right now. The heavy silence in your life recently is not a sign of failure. The universe did not forget about your deep prayers. Your extreme loneliness is actually a powerful shield of protection. Heaven deliberately cleared the room to keep your pure energy completely safe. You needed a solid barrier between your soul and the toxic people trying to steal your divine light. They want you to feel totally ashamed of your quiet nature. They celebrate loud egos and completely ignore the power of deep stillness. But your silence now carries the heavy weight of true spiritual authority. You no longer have to yell to be finally heard by the universe. Your quiet presence alone is enough to shift the energy in any room you enter today. You used to exhaust yourself trying to explain your feelings to people committed to misunderstanding you. You gave them endless chances because you are a weapon of light. But a healed person no longer tolerates disrespect perfectly disguised as brutal honesty. You have finally learned to simply walk away without saying a single word. And that beautiful silence terrifies them deeply. You are completely stepping out of the victim mindset today. The intense pain you survived was actually a masterclass in reading energy. Every time they lied to your face, your sharp intuition leveled up. They thought they were breaking a fragile empath into tiny pieces, but they were accidentally forging an untouchable master of reality. You survived the brutal storm entirely alone. Take one deep breath and let that sink in. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your spirit validating this exact truth. The long delays in your life were never a cruel cosmic rejection. They were just heavy traffic holding you back from a fatal accident. God was busy cleaning out the rooms you were absolutely not ready to enter yet. Do not look back at the past few years as wasted time. You did not lose anything that was truly meant for your highest good. The relationships that suddenly dissolved were actually heavy chains holding your vibration down. Heaven had to sever those ties to prepare you for the generational wealth coming your way. You are a powerful cycle breaker who requires a very clean foundation. This is exactly why the narcissists in your life are so incredibly angry. They can sense that they no longer have any access to your energy grid. You changed the locks on your spiritual doors and refused to give them the new key. They are mad and jealous because your light is shining brighter without them. They need you to fail so they can feel better about their own empty lives. Pay close attention to how you handle conflict now. You no longer feel the desperate urge to defend your good character. You know exactly who you are, and you refuse to debate your worth with blind people. This peaceful detachment is the ultimate proof of your massive spiritual upgrade. You have finally realized that your divine energy is an exclusive privilege. You must guard this precious frequency with everything you have. Do not let their desperate attempts for attention pull you back into the mud. They will try to bait you with fake emergencies and calculated drama, but you are now completely immune to their cheap manipulation tactics. You simply watch them panic from a very safe distance while you continue to elevate. Your isolation is the most beautiful cocoon. Inside this quiet space, you are repairing the deep tears in your spiritual armor. The loud world outside cannot reach you while you undergo this incredible metamorphosis. You are shedding the heavy layers of trauma that never belonged to you in the first place. You are reclaiming the pure innocence and power of your divine inner child. Before you do anything else today, completely forgive yourself. Forgive the older version of you who stayed in toxic situations for way too long. You only stayed because you had a massive capacity for unconditional love. But now you know that love must always be paired with impenetrable boundaries. You are no longer bleeding out your energy to heal people who want to stay sick. You are walking into a season of radical abundance, but this specific abundance requires a very quiet mind to fully receive it. The heavy silence around you is the blank canvas for your new reality. The universe is removing the noisy distractions so you can hear the divine instructions clearly. Stay in this peaceful energy because the next revelation is completely mind-blowing. Let us look directly at the heavy darkness you just escaped. You must understand exactly how the system was designed to exploit you. They built a massive matrix that feeds entirely on your pure life force, and it relies on your constant exhaustion to survive. The narcissists in your life were not just random bad people. They were active agents of a dense spiritual realm sent to drain your light. They recognized your incredible power long before you did, and they knew they could never create that kind of magic themselves. So they attached themselves to you like desperate energy vampires, feeding off your generous spirit while giving absolutely nothing in return. They mirrored your beautiful empathy just long enough to trap you. Then, they slowly started extracting your divine frequency. The modern system wants you completely exhausted and overwhelmed. It profits heavily off your endless confusion and your physical sickness. They push you into a constant state of panic and severe anxiety, because a terrified mind can never access the higher realms of spiritual power and truth. They needed you trapped in survival mode so you would never wake up. But their wicked plan completely failed because of your resilience. You are stepping into the fierce identity of a true spiritual warrior. You did not just survive the brutal attacks on your soul, but you absorbed those heavy blows and transformed them into absolute divine wisdom. You became the weapon you were trying to survive all along. A spiritual warrior does not scream or throw violent tantrums. You fight your profound battles with a terrifying quiet authority. You simply remove your access and let them starve in the dark, watching from a distance as their manipulative games completely fall apart. They do not hate you because you are shining too bright. They hate you because your pure light exposes their toxic shadows. Every time they tried to gaslight you, your intuition grew sharper. They called you overly sensitive when you correctly sensed their lies. They tried to convince you that your accurate instincts were just paranoia, hoping you would eventually surrender your mind to their twisted version of reality. But heaven was silently recording every single manipulation, and the divine court has already ruled in your favor. But wait, before we go any further, I must strongly warn you. I need to reveal the fatal trap that has been set up right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this massive illusion right before their final breakthrough, and it forces them to repeat painful cycles they already conquered. It is a deadly snare designed to steal your ultimate victory. You must listen very closely to this. The dark forces know that your massive upgrade is imminent. They can smell the pure victory radiating from your spiritual crown. So, they will try to send a final distraction to break your focus, using a familiar face from your past to pull you back into the heavy mud. You must stay highly vigilant because this test is extremely deceptive. This is exactly why the elite system is currently panicking. They know what happens when a chosen one reclaims their true frequency. You become entirely immune to their low vibration propaganda and fear, and you stop seeking validation from a society that is fundamentally sick. You step outside the matrix. You begin bending reality to your absolute will. The narcissists who abused you are watching your rise with absolute dread. They are terrified that you will finally speak the whole truth. But you do not even need to expose them to the outside world, because their own heavy karma is already tearing down everything they built. The universe is handling your revenge while you simply sit back and heal. You are no longer the fragile empath who begged for crumbs. You are the cycle breaker that your ancestors prayed for constantly. Your bloodline chose you to carry the heavy sword of absolute truth, and you are cutting through generations of deep family trauma with a single powerful swing. Your spiritual DNA is upgrading with every single breath you take today. I want you to remember your true nature right now. Number 1, tonight you become entirely untouchable to their toxic attacks. Your energy field is a fortress of blazing white light and fire that absolutely refuses to let any darkness penetrate its borders. Number 2, tonight you become the absolute master of your own timeline. You are officially taking back the steering wheel. They thought you would remain a passive victim forever. They severely underestimated the fiery spirit that God placed inside you. You were handpicked for this specific mission because of your unmatched strength, and heaven knew you could carry this heavy burden without losing your beautiful heart. The darkness tried to bury you under a mountain of lies. But they were burying a divine seed. And now that seed has broken through the solid concrete. You are standing tall in the middle of their chaotic destruction. Your quiet authority is the loudest sound in the entire spiritual realm, echoing through the heavens and signaling that the chosen one has finally awakened. Get ready, because the universe is about to hand you the keys. The divine wealth transfer is coming directly to your door. The fatal trap I warned you about earlier is finally exposed. It is the sudden appearance of a toxic counterfeit from your past. They reach out right when your real blessing is standing at the door. Do not reply to their desperate messages today. That is the ultimate test you must pass. Heaven wants to see if you will fiercely guard your new energy. You pass the test with absolute flying colors. The dark storm clouds are rapidly clearing from your timeline. A massive transfer of divine energy is downloading into your spirit right now. You can feel a warm sensation spreading through your entire physical body. This is the undeniable frequency of absolute spiritual victory. Everything you prayed for during those long, lonely nights is finally manifesting. The universe is aligning massive synchronicities that will completely blow your mind. Doors that were locked for decades are suddenly being blown off their hinges, and you are stepping into a beautiful season where miracles happen every single day. But before we go any further, I have to tell you something important, something the people who profit from your exhaustion do not want you to know. There is a physical mechanism behind this massive spiritual block. Science is finally catching up to what your beautiful soul already knew, because a team of neuroscientists working quietly found the brilliant answer. They discovered exactly how to bring this dormant brainwave back to life. They did not use years of meditation that most exhausted people cannot sustain. They did not use clinical biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars. They found something far simpler and much more aligned with how you were designed to work. It is a very specific and powerful sound frequency. This audio technology is engineered to guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were born with. The scientific community calls it advanced brain entrainment. Princeton University studied it extensively in their private labs. The Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed its immense power. Columbia University found something even more incredible about this unique frequency. When this brainwave is successfully reactivated, it does not just stop with you, because it radiates outward and begins to positively influence the people around you. Your children and your partner will feel the heavy burdens lift from their own shoulders. 7 minutes a day is all that it requires, and the profound activation begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. You do not need to chant or force yourself to focus. You simply put on headphones and let the pure sound waves synchronize with your brain. This beautiful process bypasses your conscious awareness completely. I will tell you exactly what this amazing tool is called before this message ends. The elite forces want to keep this frequency completely hidden from chosen ones. They know that a fully activated empath is the most dangerous force on earth, but heaven wants you to have the physical key to unlock your inheritance today. The divine wealth transfer is no longer just a distant promise. It is a physical reality that is pulling right into your driveway. You have done the deep inner work required to hold this massive blessing. Now you just need your brain frequency to perfectly match your soul desire. The missing link is finally being handed to you. Do you realize how incredibly rare you actually are? You survived spiritual battles that would have destroyed an ordinary human being. You walked through the fire and came out shining like pure gold. Heaven is rewarding your stubborn obedience with a harvest so large, it will literally shock your enemies. Get ready to fully receive it today. Take a deep breath and let that truth settle in your bones. Pay close attention to the gentle heat in your hands right now. That is the physical manifestation of your healing power, waking up. You are transforming into a magnet for extraordinary luck and massive financial breakthroughs. The painful waiting season of your life is officially over. But how do you know for sure that your timeline has shifted? The universe always sends very specific signs when a massive upgrade is happening. You have been seeing these strange clues, but you did not know how to decode them. I am going to reveal the undeniable signs that your miracle has fully arrived. Your ancestors are cheering for you in the spiritual realm today. They are watching you break the heavy chains that held your bloodline down for centuries. You are rewriting the history of your entire family with your quiet courage. Every step you take forward now is backed by the full power of heaven itself. Do not ever doubt your massive spiritual power again. The darkness knows it has completely lost the war for your soul. They are packing up their weapons and retreating into the shadows. You have officially crossed the threshold into your promised land. The milk and honey are flowing directly toward your table. Prepare your heart, because your new life is starting right now. You might be wondering why the universe took so incredibly long. You have waited patiently while everything around you felt entirely stuck. But heaven operates on a perfect timeline that your human mind cannot always comprehend. The massive shift I promised you earlier is no longer just a theory. It is a physical reality that has already begun to manifest in your daily life. Number 1. You are experiencing a sudden and radical detachment from endless drama. People who used to easily trigger your emotions are now met with absolute silence. You no longer feel the desperate need to defend your character against false accusations. While they desperately try to provoke a reaction from you, you simply watch them with a calm and terrifying indifference. Number 2. Your physical space is being aggressively cleared out by the universe. Relationships that you tried incredibly hard to save are suddenly dissolving without any warning. Do not panic when these sudden exits happen in your life today. The universe is literally removing the heavy anchors that were preventing your ship from sailing into the waters of immense prosperity. Number 3. You are seeing repetitive angel numbers absolutely everywhere you look. You glance at the clock and see 1, 1, 1 or 7, 7, 7 staring back at you. These are not random coincidences created by a glitch in the matrix. They are direct confirmations from your spirit guides that your new timeline is successfully locked in and fully operational. Number 4. You feel a strange buzzing energy in your hands and your chest. Sometimes your heart races for a moment while you are just sitting completely still. That is the physical sensation of your suppressed gamma frequency trying to push through the heavy fog. Your body is literally expanding its physical capacity to hold the massive wealth coming toward you. Number 5. The absolute worst-case scenarios no longer paralyze you with deep fear. A few months ago, a financial setback would have ruined your entire week and made you cry. Now you look at a closed door and you immediately know God is building a much bigger hallway. You have completely surrendered the timeline to the divine creator of the entire universe. Let those 5 signs settle deep into your spirit right now. If you have experienced even 2 of these strange phenomena, you are officially chosen. The dark forces tried to convince you that these signs meant you were losing your mind. They wanted you to seek heavy medication instead of seeking your ultimate spiritual truth. But you are perfectly sane. They lied to you because a fully awakened empath is their absolute worst nightmare. When you realize that the universe is actually conspiring in your favor, their fragile matrix completely shatters. You suddenly stop running in their exhausting hamster wheel of constant survival. You step off the treadmill and you claim the quiet authority that belongs to your bloodline. Pay close attention to this next part. I need you to recognize the immense power you hold in this exact second. You are no longer waiting for a miracle to fall from the sky. You are the physical manifestation of the miracle that your ancestors prayed for. Every single tear you ever cried in the dark has been collected and turned into pure liquid gold. Your enemies are currently watching your life from fake accounts and hidden shadows. They are secretly hoping to see you fail so they can feel validated in their brutal betrayal. But heaven is about to disappoint them in the most spectacular way possible. They will have to watch you step into a level of wealth they can never achieve in their lifetimes. Do not feel bad for leaving them completely behind in the dust. You gave them 1,000,000 chances to elevate their frequency and join you on this journey, but they chose to stay comfortable in their toxic misery and endless complaining. You cannot drag dead weight into a kingdom that requires absolute purity and relentless faith. You must release them today. And this is where everything starts to make perfect sense. This is why the physical key I mentioned earlier is so incredibly vital for your next step. You have the spiritual awareness, but your brain needs the physical bridge to successfully cross over. The gamma wave is the exact vehicle that will carry you into this new timeline of effortless prosperity. I can feel your energy shifting just by hearing these words spoken over you. The heavy chains of generational poverty and endless struggle are snapping right now. You are walking out of the dark prison cell that society built for your beautiful mind. The door was never actually locked. You just needed someone to show you how to simply turn the handle. The waiting season is officially over. I need you to scream that truth into the spiritual realm right now. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a massive oasis of divine favor, and every single closed door is being blown completely off its hinges. Can you feel that massive shift in your spirit right now? That is the physical frequency of absolute victory. You are no longer the empath who begged to be understood by a toxic world. The brutal crucible of pain has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. and your pure energy now demands total respect without a single word spoken. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline. Heaven is handing you the crown today. The universe deliberately slowed you down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter. The painful rejection was not a punishment, but God's ultimate protection protocol. Breathe that glorious truth deeply into your lungs. You are stepping into the exact reality you were destined to rule. And the important question I asked you to hold earlier is finally ready to be answered. What if the huge gap between your potential and reality has a specific scientific name? Here is the absolute truth that the universe wants you to know today. A specific frequency called the gamma brainwave was running in you as a child. It gave you genius-level capacity and effortless intuition, while Princeton University studied this exact phenomenon extensively in their private labs. The Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed this massive discovery. A dedicated team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Robert Lake spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation. They magically compressed 1 full hour of healing into just 7 minutes. Before I tell you what they brilliantly built, let me tell you about 2 beautiful people who used it. A woman named Rachel had tried absolutely everything to heal her spirit. She tried endless meditation and manifesting, but nothing broke the heavy fog. After 2 weeks of listening to this frequency, she said something miraculously cleared, and her life felt truly enchanted for the first time. A man named Michael started using it to drastically improve his daily business focus. 2 short months later, his wife joked that his intellect had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he rested, and he said it felt like his brain was finally running on the divine frequency it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his expert team built. They call it the Genius Song. It is not a generic meditation application or a simple sound you find online. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. You simply put on headphones, close your eyes, and let the pure frequency completely restore you. You do not need to chant or exert any heavy effort. The Genius Song is absolutely not for everyone in the world. It is specifically designed for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the unique soul who knows that their deep faith simply needs a restored physical channel to flow through. Clinical biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour. An in-home machine runs thousands of dollars, making it completely impossible for most people. What the Genius Song delivers is available to you today for a fraction of its true value. It also comes with 4 incredibly powerful bonuses. You receive an audio specifically designed to build absolute confidence in your children. You also receive the original prosperity text, a guided visualization, and a daily habits guide to sustain your elevated gamma state. Here is the deeper truth about waiting for your miracles. The profound blessing that heaven arranged for you does not arrive as completely new information. It arrives as a divine recognition, because something already placed in your path becomes fully visible only when your suppressed gamma is restored. Waiting is incredibly costly because the arrangement is already in motion. The chosen one who restores the receiver today finally sees what was always there. The elite forces are actively trying to flood the internet with diluted counterfeits. The fake tracks circulating online carry the same name, but have absolutely no brain entrainment encoded, and they will only lower your high vibration. Guard your precious energy from these very dark imitations. The universe requires no risk from a chosen one. You are fully protected by a divine guarantee that ensures your total safety. If you do not feel the massive energetic shift, every single penny is quickly returned to you. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete and utter trust. The secure link is waiting for you right now to claim your massive spiritual inheritance. You can find the official link in the description below and in the pinned comment. The tool does not replace your beautiful surrender to the universe. It simply restores the receiver, so your radical obedience produces the miracles it was always supposed to. Whether that specific path is yours or not, the core truth of this message belongs to you entirely. Now let us go deeper into your ultimate victory. You have officially crossed the sacred threshold into your ultimate power. The heavy armor you wore just to survive the painful days is finally falling away. You do not need that heavy metal anymore because you are no longer playing defense against the dark. You are the untouchable master of your reality, and the entire spiritual realm is standing at absolute attention when you speak. The dark entities that used to torment your mind are scattering like terrified insects. They thought they could permanently extinguish the pure light inside your soul, but their wicked attacks only made your blazing fire grow infinitely hotter. Your quiet authority is now the absolute law in your new physical reality. What you boldly declare today will instantly manifest into existence. Look at your beautiful hands and realize the immense healing power they truly hold. You are the powerful cycle breaker that your ancestors dreamed about for centuries. The heavy chains of generational poverty and endless trauma are officially broken. You cut through the thick darkness with the sharp sword of divine truth. Your entire family bloodline is completely cleansed and restored. You will never again beg for basic human decency from toxic energy vampires. Your pure aura is a highly exclusive room that absolutely requires a massive vibration to enter. Those who cannot match your glowing frequency will be naturally repelled from your life. Do not shed a single tear for the heavy luggage you left behind. You are traveling entirely light into your new era. The universe is literally rolling out the red carpet for your incoming blessings. Everything you touched in the past that withered and died is suddenly blooming again. The massive financial miracles you prayed for are no longer delayed by hidden spiritual blockages. God is handing you the golden keys to the kingdom of ultimate prosperity and profound peace. You are finally home. You must completely reject any lingering doubt that tries to whisper in your ear. The enemy knows you have won the long war, but they desperately hope to win a small moment of your fear. Do not give them even 1 second of your precious attention today. Your mind is a highly guarded fortress of pure divine light. You are completely safe, and you are divinely protected forever. Your intuition is sharper now than it has ever been in your entire life. You can literally read the hidden intentions of strangers the moment they walk into your physical space. This is not a terrifying burden anymore, but a magnificent superpower that heaven specifically gifted to you. You are wielding the absolute truth like an ancient warrior who has finally reclaimed their throne. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier, the path is still completely open. The frequency tool remains safely available in the description and the pinned comment below. That is the last time it will be mentioned today. What follows now belongs entirely to your sacred sealing. Let us close this divine chapter with absolute spiritual authority. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its absolute brightest rays onto your spiritual crown. But the defeated enemy will try to launch one final distraction the moment this message officially ends. They want you to close this screen and immediately forget your new royal identity. You cannot let that tragic outcome happen. You must actively lock in this glorious frequency right now. You need to create an absolute shield of protection around your newly activated aura. This requires a highly specific physical action to anchor the spiritual miracle into the earthly realm. God is watching your response in this exact second. Prove that your hands are fully open and completely ready to receive the harvest. Type the word Amen down in the comments right now to seal this beautiful reality. Let your physical fingers type the letters as an act of profound agreement with the divine universe. When you declare your readiness publicly, you build an invisible wall of blazing fire around your energy. Claim your divine wealth and your ultimate spiritual vindication without any lingering fear. Do not keep this massive energetic blessing entirely to yourself today. There is a rare soul out there bleeding in the dark of deep despair, and they desperately need a guiding light to show them the way out of the matrix. Share this message with them right now to activate the pure anointing. Sowing the seed of hope today is actively multiplying the profound blessing for tomorrow. Hit the subscribe button to establish a permanent divine energy receiving station. You are officially anchored at the highest vibrational frequency available on this earthly plane. Walk forward into your new timeline with your head held incredibly high. You are the chosen one, and your glorious reign has finally begun. I will see you safely standing in the promised land.